Gender Clash episode 5.
5.
Five,
Wow.
a magic number.
Okay.
5. Yeah, with more to come. We've actually got a list of topics, so we will crank
I
out a
don't know.
couple more this week.
I don't know if we're going to discuss some of them, okay?
All right. I think we should. I think
We
it'll
are
be fun.
newlyweds, so we haven't had a fight since we got married. Let's keep that going.
Come on. So what, I should throw you softballs? Go straight for the jugular one. No, okay. We'll keep it nice and easy. All right. So
Yes.
check out Gender Clash everywhere, pretty much. If you're listening to this, you've obviously got it somewhere, but it's also available somewhere else. It's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Podbean, which is the host site. It's on Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you like the page, you can actually go into the tabs underneath the name of the page and find podcasts and subscribe right there and listen to it directly from Facebook, so you don't have to leave Facebook. We also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't think I'm missing anything, right?
YouTube.
Yes, YouTube. YouTube is really just audio recordings. There are no videos. We are looking at the videos. We're looking at the live, but in the meantime, let's do this. Okay, so for those of you who are new, Gender Clash is my wife and I, but it could be any man and any woman discussing topics that will hopefully, if you bring the topic up, men and women will look at it completely differently and have a completely different interpretation of whatever that topic is. And we've had some good ones so far. Okay, let's go with a nice, easy one before,
Please.
before I toss some of these other ones out. Okay, all right. So we had a discussion in the last one about bank accounts and joint accounts versus your own accounts and having your own money. And that brought up a good subject that I really should have brought up at the time, but hey, it gives us a topic here. And that is people who spend money and purposely hide it from their spouse, whether it's a guy keeping money to the side and going and, spending it gambling or, whatever, who knows, whatever else. And then women, I have no idea if women do it more than men, but women also will spend some money, not tell their husband and just, buy what they want without telling him and then purposely hide it from him. You, I guess, can give the woman's perspective. I don't know how often this happens from the woman's side.
I guess if the couple is sharing accounts and using one account for all their spending and all their bills, then that would be an issue. But we spoke about this having, separate accounts. So we have an account to pay our bills and then we have our own personal account. So whatever I spend out of my own personal money, none your business.
None my damn business. I hear
none your business.
I agree, but that's
as long
not
as I'm paying the bills. I guess there are women who just spend, listen, I think I have an Amazon. Ooh, what was that? I think I have an Amazon package arriving maybe like every other day, right?
Every other? How about like 2 a day?
Okay, maybe some days are like 2 a day. Yeah. I don't hide it from you. I
hear you.
Unless it's a gift. Unless it's a gift for you and I know that I've purchased something for you, then I won't open it in front of you. But otherwise, I open it. I say, okay, let's see if this works or let's see if I like this or whatever. Right. Like I don't have any, I personally don't feel the need to hide what I purchase or how I spend my money. But there are women that do that probably because either, they've been spoken to about it. Maybe they're spending too much. Maybe they're lacking on their responsibilities. The man could be very, controlling and saying,
well, yeah. That's the direction I was going to go. Usually, women not, I wouldn't say all the time, but a lot of the times in a relationship, women are the ones who quote unquote control the relationship because the man is just fine. They kind of go along with it. But then what the man does, he paints himself into a corner where he constantly either lies or doesn't say something or tell her something, and then he's got to hide things that he may not necessarily have to hide, or he allows her to control what he can and can't do. I've known a lot of guys who will hide money from their wives. Their wives give them a hard time. They go out and gamble with it. They put money to the side to buy something, musical instruments or going out for the night, whatever. I have seen it a lot, and I have no idea if there is a trend. I don't know what the trend is, whether it's the controlling woman or it's the insecure guy or it's the sneaky guy who's spending money he shouldn't.
Yes.
I'm really not
He's up
sure.
to no good. He's
Not all the
truly
time.
up to no. Come on.
No, there's rich. Oh, yeah, up to no good. Okay, I thought you were going to say it was a guy who couldn't afford it. Yes,
No.
usually it's up to no good, but
Right.
it also speaks to the relationship that if the guy feels he has to hide it, then
and like the woman's controlling him, the woman's criticizing him,
and he's just not strong enough to stand up to it. So I have seen it many, many times, and it's usually not a happily married couple. So
yeah, like I don't understand that. I guess if you don't have the setup that most couples have, where they have their account to pay bills and then their account for their own money. I don't understand.
But there's guys who go and create a completely separate account and go put money into that when the wife doesn't even know the money exists. Yeah, because he wants to be able to do what he wants without having to check in.
Sneaky.
So there you go. All right. Well, I guess there's no gray area on that one, huh? Oh my goodness. Oh my God, jerk. All right. Maybe he's just a poor lost soul who can't stand up to a berating, controlling woman.
Well, it sucks to be him. He should have never married her. Right? That's a good topic.
It is. Which topic? You should have never married.
Why did you marry your controlling asshole wife?
Well, yeah. The thing is I think a lot of marriages or even relationships, the woman usually has more say. I have seen with myself, I've seen with everybody else.
Babe, I don't have more say than you.
You absolutely have more than
you. Put your foot down. Come on.
I put my foot down when I have to, but for the most part, it's your way, and I'm okay with that because it's easier.
Really?
Oh yeah, and you ask
Give me examples.
Why do you always pin?
We're going to get personal. No. We're going to get personal here on air. Give me an example.
We are not going to get personal. There's plenty of things that, in general, should be done this way because you say they're done that way, and I'm fine with it. When I don't agree with you, I put my foot down
because they're done the right way.
Sure, and I'm willing.
My way. The right way.
Absolutely. And I'm willing to bet that most relationships have the woman having more say in most things because that is the natural order. When a man controls and has more say, is usually either an abusive relationship or it is like
the guy's insecure and he's just a jerk,
just controlling. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. And that usually, and again, I am generalizing. I am not specifically saying this is everything, but for the most part, from what I've seen, women tend to drive the bus, so to speak. And the relationships I've seen where the women don't drive the bus, the guy is either a jerk or he's completely unhappy and meek. And I mean, a whole bunch of different things it could be, but the general rule is that women drive the bus.
I would love to hear men's perspective on this. Guys, please,
yes,
can you just comment?
Somebody comment.
Throw me a bone. I mean, listen, I just thought that you're just like the most laid back, most understanding.
Yes, I am kind and understanding. Thank you. I'm taking a bow. But there are plenty of times where it's not that important to me. I don't necessarily agree, but it is just easier to let you do it because you are not, and let's be honest here, you are not quite as understanding when I tell you it has to be done a certain way. So in most cases, it's easier for me to just agree. If it's not, a friend of mine once said, and he's going to pat himself on the back now, that his dad gave him advice that if it's not going to hurt you or cost you a lot of money, just go along with it. And while I am not at that point by any means, I understand the general principle of it, which is if it's not important to you and it's not going to affect anything badly, why fight over it? Let her do what she wants, and it doesn't matter. And that's kind of the attitude I've taken. When I was younger, I wasn't quite as I wasn't quite as understanding and go along with things. And ironically, I was when I had bad relationships because we'd fight or I just couldn't communicate. And I have learned that it's just much easier to just go along with it and put your foot down when it matters rather than argue over everything.
That's amazing.
Really? Okay. Well, there you go.
That's amazing.
Well, there you go. All right. Here's a fun one. We were watching our show the other night, and
yes,
the show we watch.
Are we gonna I come clean with the show that we watch?
I don't mind saying. I just don't like plugging things, but whatever. It's a show called Married at First Sight, right? And
Love
guys,
it.
go ahead,
Love it.
guys, go hammer me to death. As I said the
Yeah.
other night, I don't absolutely love it. I do like it enough that it's interesting. You know, there's a lot of episodes and there's a lot of things going on, and some of the things I would rather hang myself than watch. But some of the stuff is some of the stuff is interesting, right?
It gives
And
you content, and there are professionals that are helping these couples along the way. And I feel like you learn stuff about like relationships and comfort. You know what I'm saying? Like I have learned stuff from
really,
watching yeah,
I
or
haven't
like,
learned much.
or
I don't feel like I learned much from there. To me,
you're so perfect.
no, absolutely not. I am far from perfect. I am just almost perfect. Okay?
That's
But
right. Yeah.
but anyway, so this show, and one of the scenes that I can totally not care about at all. Anyway, the premise of the show is people
Oh,
get professional
Trisha.
matchmaking, and they get matched up at the and they go to the altar
And they
and get
meet
married.
each other at the altar.
They
They
meet
don't
each other
know
at the altar.
anything about this person. They don't know what they
Nothing.
look like. They
Right.
don't know nothing.
Right. They get
Not
married at
even
the
their
altar,
name.
and then
Nothing.
they're together for it used to be 4 weeks. Now it's 8 weeks. And then you
8
make a
weeks.
decision whether you want to stay together or not. So before the wedding, right? The wedding is the interesting part. You see two people get up to each other and see each other
Like,
for the
don't
first
you
part.
get like teary eyed with some of these?
No, teary eyed for them. I
Don't
don't
you
even
get
know them.
emotional?
No, not for that. But
Oh.
I do get emotional in an angry way when I have to sit through them wedding dress and tuxedo shopping. That's so freaking boring. It's like, who cares? Just get us straight. Yeah, if you really have to make us sit through an episode of how you match these people up and why, then skip the wedding dress stuff. Yeah, I guess it's kind of interesting when they tell their parents, but there's usually one of two reactions. You're an idiot. Don't do this. I don't want to ever see you again. Or, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I'm sure you'll make it work. It's like, whatever. So it gets interesting when they actually go on a honeymoon together. But anyway, back to the part that I could skip it every time and I wouldn't care because there's not one thing I care about, and that is them looking for wedding dresses and tuxedos. So you love that part. You love seeing the dresses. You love seeing their faces when they find their dress. You will sit there and tear the dress apart and say that is not good or that is good. And me, I'm just like, okay, pick your dress and let's get on to the next part. So
You have made comments on the tuxedos and the colors that these guys have chosen, and I mean,
when a guy, when one guy chooses a freaking maroon red tuxedo, he looks like a valet guy. He's like, "Sir, may I park your car?" No, I'm the groom. Oh, okay. Come on. He looked like a valet. That guy. Give me a break. But
and in this season, the girls had all their boobs hanging out. Like it was like, yo, what are you thinking?
They're going for ratings now. Every girl that walked up to the altar literally had like fake boobs that were pushed up to almost their chins, and it's like the guys walked away from the altar not knowing what they look like.
Why would you do that with somebody you've never met? Like first impressions are lasting impressions.
Family,
like that's meeting, not.
Now we're getting into show critique. I don't want to do that.
I know. All right.
So why is it so interesting and I want to call it emotional, so interesting and emotional for you? You can talk for you or women in general to sit through a part of women shopping for a wedding dress, and then why is that exciting? When for me it's like, oh my God, time to go to the bathroom.
Because I mean, obviously the woman is the star of the show, so watching watching the dress that she picks out says a lot about her too. Like there are some dresses that they come out in and you're like, yo, go right back where you came from, because that's a big no. And then you can tell when they have you can tell the dress that fits them. I can always tell the dress that they're going to say yes to, because they come out with like a different expression. They come out they're like a little bit teary-eyed. Like, listen, I went dress shopping. I know what it's like.
Yeah, and it's a show, so they usually show you one, possibly two, and then at worst the third one is going to be the one because they're not wasting that much time on it. So they always show one.
But I don't think these girls have a big option, because I mean they are getting their dress in like 4 days.
4 days, it's free, all that stuff.
Right,
so okay, so that's the show, and I'm like, I don't care. In real life now, what is exciting about shopping for a wedding dress? Like, we just got married recently, right? Obviously, most people already know that.
And you thought I was gonna pick out like that? See, like, okay, so it's also important because you always want your groom or your husband to enjoy seeing you in the dress, or view you as the most beautiful woman in the world or whatever. And you got to pick the dress that you feel good in, that you think your husband's going to like, that, there are so many factors that go into it, but let's just talk about the fact that you thought I was going to pick a completely different. All right, guys. He thought I was going to have like shoulder pads.
And most of the guys are saying, "What are you talking about? We don't even know what that means," and we don't. It doesn't matter.
Right.
For whatever reason, I just thought you had a different dress in mind. That's
He
all.
thought I was going to have like my shoulders covered with some type of material and like sleeves. I'm like, what?
I know, and the women are going, "Oh my god," and the guys are going, "Okay, what?"
No.
What?
Not that there's
I don't
nothing wrong
get
with
it.
sleeves, but like you thought that I was going to have like shoulder.
I don't know. I thought you would have something like that. I don't know why.
I'm confused.
What are
I'm
you
like,
confused
what?
about?
You thought I was going to have shoulder? Like
Yeah,
the dress
okay.
was on my
All right.
shoulders?
For the edification of the 3 men listening to this, because we have what, 6 listeners? For the edification of the 3 men listening to this, explain why it's so horrifying for me to have thought that.
Because wedding dresses are usually strapless, which is like the sweetheart cut. They are,
Sweetheart cut.
Yes.
I didn't know there were different names
of
of different cuts. It's like going wedding ring shopping. Until you do it, you don't know that there's all
right.
cuts. You just have a freaking
like my dress had, like I had like my sleeves where I could have put on my shoulder. Also, maybe you expected the sleeves that I did have on my shoulders, but they were draped like right below my shoulders.
This discussion is like me traveling to Africa and trying to speak Swahili. I have no idea.
So my
what you're
dress
talking
had
about.
the option. All right. So when we're done with this, you can go look at one of our pictures. And my dress had the option that little piece of like lace that you see that's like draped like below my shoulder. I had the option of putting that on my shoulder. I chose not to because I just wanted the effect of my shoulders being exposed. But the fact that you thought I was going to have like poofy shoulders, I'm like, what?
I don't even know.
This isn't the
80s. Well, babe, it worked. You were the most beautiful woman in the world.
No, because I didn't come out in the dress that you expected.
So you think that's a whole?
You thought it was going to be more like ornate. You thought it was going to be more like I don't know.
Wait. Let me stop you for a second. You think
I
that
I was so sad.
You think that most guys get up to the altar and know what their woman's going to be wearing, or you think they guess it right?
You picture it though, so I didn't come out as you envisioned me. Which is sad to me.
Oh, this is a whole other discussion. Why is that sad? I mean, this is a whole other topic. Okay, so the wedding dress is because you want your man to look at you.
Because I feel like you were disappointed.
No, I wasn't disappointed. I was relieved. You looked beautiful, and I
what did you think I was going to look like?
I don't. I just told you. I thought you would have sleeves with
poor sense of fashion that I would come out looking crazy.
This is where this is leading to another subject where women take it and assume it means something completely different. No, I don't think you have poor fashion sense. The problem is I don't know what fashion sense is in a wedding dress. What the hell do I know? Yeah,
that's why
I have no idea.
That's why I went and picked out your suit because
there you go.
It was going to be a disaster.
There's your example of the woman driving the bus.
Yeah, yes.
Your example. Yep. Pick them. And you saw how excited I was.
And you fought me on it a little bit.
We went to the store with the boys, and it took an hour and a half, whatever it was. And
the boys agreed to wear a bow tie,
and we were like, okay,
very sweet of them. And you're like, absolutely not.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a bow tie.
No, it's not happening. So there's your example of the woman driving the bus. Okay, honey. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. That was it. So, and my own wedding did nothing for me excitement wise to go shop for a tuxedo. It didn't. It's just another step.
But did you feel good in what you had on? Like, did you think you looked good?
Of course I did. But maybe this is the difference. Okay, maybe the difference is I wear suits all the time. This is just a different suit, whereas women don't wear wedding dresses.
That was a 3-piece suit. You had a vest on.
So now you're gonna get all technical about that.
Yes.
Okay.
This was a different suit.
It was a different suit, but
you had a flower on your lapel. Like it was,
I had a beautiful woman in a strapless dress in front of me. I get
my dress wasn't strapless.
What was it then? What do you call these? Shoulderless, strapless? I don't know. What do you call these things?
Oh my god, I can't.
You just.
Can we just do it over? Oh. Okay, so can we go shopping again for our 5 or 10 year anniversary and you pick out the dress that you want to see me in when we renew our vows?
No. Unless you're going to agree to no matter what I say as a goof, and we can just look like I picked something out. Because if you're gonna say no to me, then I'm not going to do that. What do I want? I want to be berated
I'm
about the
just
dress I picked.
curious as to what you would pick.
I wouldn't pick anything. That's the point. This is a woman thing all the way. Men don't have any desire,
I don't
urge,
know.
or
There
excitement
are
about
men
picking a
that
wedding
have
dress.
opinions about wedding dresses, whether they want like, tight fitting, loose, flowy, like like there are men that have opinions.
The average guy would say, let it show cleavage and let it be easy to take off. That's it. That's the average guy for you. I just summed up most guys.
Cleavage, huh?
Most guys, I'm not a cleavage guy. I'm not a boob dude.
I know. That's why I can't believe you're saying that.
I'm speaking for most men. If most
I had as much cleavage as I could possibly do.
Most men will be like, if it's cleavage and it's easy to get off, then it's the dress for me. That's it. Okay. Right? This is how men think.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So we still don't have a real answer, but it's okay.
No, listen, women are the star of the show when it comes to a wedding. So that is like finding a dress is the absolute most important part of a woman planning her wedding. That, like, you can't have a wedding without a dress. You can have a wedding without flowers. You can have a wedding without whatever, but you can't have a wedding without a dress.
Oh, you absolutely could.
And
nobody wants to.
We are like the star of the show. Like, people are waiting to see the bride.
Of course
that's right. So this is why the dress is so important, because
you could have saved us 8 minutes and said that when we started the discussion.
No, because I was surprised that you pictured me in something different.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, oh my God, did I not pick the dress that he liked? Like, did he?
No,
like
your dress was
did
great.
He find me beautiful?
Of course, I found you beautiful.
My dress was great.
It was beautiful. Yeah. The dress was outstanding. Stunning. And you look so great. You if you hadn't just said this, I would say it myself. You were the star of the show.
Listen, regardless of what the woman looks like, she's the star of the show.
Right. I know. I hear you. All right. Let's just move on.
Let's move on.
Okay.
This is getting personal.
No, I hope not. No. Oh, okay. Here's one that we had this discussion in our previous podcast years ago. What is the thought about a spouse or a significant other who never answers the phone in front of you? Now, you and me don't get a lot of calls. There are a lot of spam. These days, it may not apply as much. There's a lot of spam. I get a lot of stuff I don't want to answer. I always answer the phone when it's someone I know, but when it's not a number I know, I send it to spam. So I would say most of the time in front of you, I'm not answering the phone, but that's not what this is about. This is about when you're in a relationship, but maybe you don't live together. Maybe you don't know each other that well. Maybe. The significant other will always look at their phone, push it to voicemail, and put the phone down. Now, if that happens every time, is there reason to be suspicious?
I mean, yeah. Like, I think this is a no-brainer. Absolutely. What are you hiding? Right. Why can't you answer your phone in front of me?
Right. Who's calling? Yeah.
Right. Listen, absolutely. I don't care what type of business you're in. I don't care how many friends you have or don't have. There is no reason, even if it's your friend and like you can't talk at the moment, you're like, hey, I can't talk right now, call you back. Or if it's like now with like spam, I mean, people can fake it and say that, this is a spam call.
Hello, your car is expiring in 12 days and we want to sell you a new one.
No, your car warranty. The warranty.
We're very concerned about your car warranty.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. And listen, I unfortunately have been there where the person that I'm with is very, very, very sketchy about their phone. They won't leave it in front of, they won't leave it in front of me. They take it with them everywhere and anywhere. And I'm just like, what are you hiding?
Right.
I mean, and I was younger at that point but now it's like, I don't even care, because you know what? The truth is eventually going to come out, right? Whether you are, it's going to come out, but 1,000% there's something wrong there.
I don't, whether the truth's going to come out or not. I hate the phone. So I send everybody to voicemail unless I have to take the call. My kids, my partner, my dad, you know what I mean? That's really,
no,
that's
but
really about it.
Who were you sending to voicemail? Spam calls?
Out of friends? Oh no. Oh no. Anytime I get a call, it's usually a number I don't recognize. If it's not in my phone or I don't recognize it because I called a doctor's office or something. If it's a number I don't recognize, I send it to voicemail. Number one, because I
Really?
hate talking on the phone, and number
Right.
two, because if I don't know you, I certainly don't want to talk on the phone to you. So I answer it if I know it. Once in a while I get caught out there and it's somebody I should have answered the phone for, but I mean,
Right.
whatever. So, but me, I don't like talking on the phone, so I'm gonna send most people to voicemail unless I'm
Yeah.
expecting the call or I know them and have to talk to them, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a no-brainer that if somebody is behaving that way with their phone, it's obvious that they're hiding something, right? I mean, don't you agree?
Yes, 99%. There's that 1% that could be that I'm not in the other person's head. I have no idea what they have going on, and that's always the exception to the rule because there are so many people in this world, and you'll hear me say this over and over because we can never speak for everyone or know what the absolute answer is. There's always somebody out there who thinks differently, looks at things differently, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who, if they're not answering their phone, there's a good reason for it. But generally, if you're furtive like that and you're not answering your phone in front of your significant other, you probably got something going on. You should. So I have to agree.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, I can't imagine why you wouldn't answer the. I mean, if it like happens once or twice, fine, but always, constantly, then put your phone on silent or put. I don't know what to tell you, but
Well, yeah. But it's like me, I don't have I'm in too many text threads, so I don't have my notifications on, only my ringer. So I don't, if unless I look at my phone, I don't know if I'm getting notifications, but I have the ringer on because most people at this point know not to call me. And most of the people who do call me, it's either business or again, my partner, my sons, my dad, I mean, stuff like that. And that's so my ringer is on. And anybody who's listening, if you need me at 2 a.m. because it's an emergency, you have to call me. Do not text me, and because I'm not going to get it. So there you go.
yeah,
What?
yeah, but I feel like that. I feel like the way that you handle text messages just forces you to constantly be looking at your phone.
Sometimes if I'm expecting something, but not if I don't have a conversation going on with somebody or a group of somebody's, I'm not looking at my phone like, oh my god, did someone text me? But if I'm expecting an answer, then yes, I'll look at it. But I just don't like, the thing is I learned years ago that with the text threads I'm in, there could be 50 that come in an hour, and it's constant. It's bing,
But you
bing, and I
can't
don't want to do that.
silence those threads and not silence
I
all
guess I
your text
could, yeah.
messages.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, you can do that now. I never even bothered doing that.
You
I
shouldn't
just
silence my text messages
why?
because that's kind of how we always communicate.
I know, but I look at my phone, and if I'm not with you,
Right.
it's you,
So
and
that just means that you're constantly looking at your phone.
no, I'm not constantly looking at my phone. But I have enough stuff going on a lot of the time that I happen to be looking at my phone. But I mean, regardless of whether I have your notifications on or not, how often is it that I don't get back to you fairly quickly? Now, if I'm at work, maybe, but how often when I'm not at work, where I'm in meetings on Mondays or Thursdays, how often does it take me longer than a few minutes to respond?
Not often enough, but often.
Not often enough. Okay. As opposed to you, and sometimes I'm waiting 2 hours for your response.
Because because I don't live with my phone the way you do. Like you live with your phone. I don't live with my phone. Like I will put it down, I'll be doing something and I'm like, "Oh my god." Or I will leave it in the car and realize it like 2 hours later. I'm like, "Oh my god, my phone's in the car." Like I don't, it's like the phone's a pain. Like I
All
don't.
right. Let's end it off with a fun one.
All right.
This is one we did speak about the last time, but we talk about it all the time. All right. Celebrity crushes and why women will concentrate on one, two, three, whatever, like a small group of guys that they really find attractive, and men are like, I don't know, most of the time I can't really pick one.
Pigs.
Yes, there's two or
Pigs.
three that they find like there's just something about them, but for the most part, it's just all of them. It is. You and me run into this all the time because you're always trying to get somebody out of me, and I really,
You
it
have
depends on the
told me.
week. Huh? I know. Yeah, back then I had one, but I mean, there's always
Who's your
somebody
new
that
celebrity crush now?
I don't have a new one.
Oh,
I,
really?
I don't have a celebrity crush. I mean, but that's the point. Okay, we go back to the men are visual and the women are emotional thing. So the woman and I'm not trying to speak for you. I'm just my interpretation. My interpretation is that the woman will look at somebody and the looks aren't as important as how they make them feel, whether it's funny, it's the way they dress, whatever. And the women will concentrate on one or two because those are the ones. And then they'll be able to say, well, that guy's good looking. He just doesn't do it for me. Or that guy's good looking. He's a handsome guy, but not be like, I have to have him. Whereas men are visual. The first thing the man sees is what the woman looks like. And that's what he reacts to. And since Hollywood is full of good looking women, I again, only speaking for myself, but I'm fairly certain a lot of guys will agree. You don't necessarily have a top celebrity crush. You could.
You do.
There are some guys that there are some guys that do, but I'm willing to bet that they look at 100 women the same way they do the celebrity crush. They just happen to like that one better. And I don't think from what I've seen, women do the same thing. I think women have one or two guys that are their favorites, and the men are just like, yep, they're all hot.
No, babe, you are seriously the only guy that I've met so far that couldn't even had to think about one person. What does that say?
Maybe that makes me a little different, but most guys in general, and again, I mean, I could be wrong. Guys, if I'm wrong, tell me.
Please, guys, you got to prove this guy wrong here because this is two. These are two topics where it's just not going right.
So many good looking women that all look so similar in Hollywood, and wherever else, Hollywood, movies, TV, wherever. There's so many that are so good looking and so in that same category that it's hard to be able to say, oh, that one's super hot, but that one's not. Most of them, most of the people. Yeah, I'm not talking about the reality shows we watch where they're real people made up. I'm talking about movie stars, about the famous people. They're all,
you think that they're all made up too? Have you seen them in their natural state?
But okay. Well, when we see them in their natural state, we'll bring up that discussion. I'm talking about what I see on TV, what I see in the movies. For me, I guess I'll just speak for myself. I'm not going to say most guys. Okay. For me, there's the level of difference between person A, person B, and person C is not enough for me to say, oh, that one's hot, but that one's not. It's just not. They're all good looking women.
For me, it's
I know.
I have two. And then I have a third one only for his talent. That's it.
Yeah, that's what you say until
It is.
Yep.
Babe. Okay. I would break him in half if I even if I leaned on him, I would break him in half.
I doubt it.
I mean, how can you and the one my one celebrity crush has been my crush for decades.
Exactly.
Decades. And he still looks just as good.
And there you go. That's exactly that is exactly the point. My celebrity crush is the same 200 women that I've liked all along. Oh my
God. Why you gotta be such a pig?
And then when I don't see them for a few years and I'm like, oh, they got a little older. They're still good looking, but there's this new one now.
Oh wow.
She got old.
Wait, wow,
she got old.
A little fat.
She got old. Yeah. There's another one right over there who looks just like she used to. I'll go with her now. That's my new celebrity crush. Yep,
oh my God, so shallow.
Yes, men are shallow for the most part. Especially they're not as shallow in their everyday lives, but when it comes to women they are not dating or they're just talking about, they are extremely shallow. 100%, no doubt about it.
That's awful. I am so loyal to my celebrity crush. It's
see, there you go.
It's been years.
There you go.
Both of them probably. Yeah.
All right. There you go. Well,
I can't believe this.
What can't you believe?
I am learning a lot about you, babe.
No, this is not the first time we've had this discussion either. This is one from the old podcast. I'll go play it for you.
But I don't think that you said that. I did
because it led to the infamous discussion, which we will not get into here, about is she hot? Would you bang her? Which you took major offense to.
Oh my God, I can't.
Is she hot? Would you bang her scale, which we will not get into here. Maybe another time. Yes. No. All right. It's a completely different point of view. And that's what led to that from this angle. So I have absolutely said this to you before. You must have just blocked it out.
How is it possible that
you are right? You are right that your husband has never said this to you, but your boyfriend, who was your boyfriend at the time, did. So you're right. I never did say it to you.
Not to this extent.
No, it's the same extent. I'll go pull the tape.
You said everybody in Hollywood is hot.
I did. I absolutely did. I said, for the most part, when you get into celebrities, most of them are hot, and you don't. There's not that much of a difference. Maybe I didn't put the words that much of a difference in there, but I absolutely said, because you were trying to pin me down for someone, and
so
then
you don't think there's a difference between like Kim Kardashian and J-Lo?
Yes, there's a difference, but their level
Right.
of looks, hotness, no, they're freaking. They're both hot. Who cares?
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Okay.
Interesting.
Well, yes, that was so interesting.
I listen. It's
all right.
okay.
Well, Santa Claus is back. That is our cue to go.
Who's that, Scooby?
I don't know. I'm down here, but I hear it like it's in here. So.
Is it Emmett?
Emmett's not down here.
He's not?
No.
Where's Emmett?
He's in the crate.
Emmett's in the family room.
He's in the crate. Okay.
All
well,
right.
on that note,
all right.
This is Gender Clash number 5. Thank you all for listening. We are on Spotify and Apple Podcast and every podcast, just all the major podcast things, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course our own site, genderclashpodcast.com. We will see you all soon. Thanks for listening. Take care.
Bye, guys.